All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is the MLK reading, Martin Luther King reading event, just to honor Martin Luther's dream, aspirations, and everything he stood for. We're going to have a lot of performances in honor of that. People are going to be reading, performing arts and different things in honor of Martin Luther King, and we will be cutting the cake at the end of the event to celebrate his birthday. So to get it started, let us welcome Chandra Rogers with a prayer to get us started.
Hello, everyone. Can you please bow your heads? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. To come together to assemble ourselves, God, we thank you for your love and your peace that you have given us and that we can share amongst each other. We thank you for just showing us the way with Dr. Martin Luther King and for all of the other trailblazers that have gone before us. We ask that you continue to help us to love each and every one, and we praise your name today. And we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, by the way, my name is Andy Owusu from Student Life Activities and Planning Board, and this event is co-sponsored with the SLAP Board and the Multicultural Office. We will give the a cappella group a chance to sing, the a cappella group to sing the U.S. National Anthem. Where's the a cappella group? All right, shall we welcome the a cappella group?
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, everyone. Hi, I'm Shroz. I'm Vice President of Information at the Student Life and Activities Planning Board. And today we're going to just talk briefly about the student engagement transcripts and what they are. Basically, it's a transcript that's going to get sent to the colleges when you transfer, and it's going to show all the things that you did at Raritan Valley besides going to class. So to fill out this little form, write down all the information. You can find the information on papers outside, on papers in the hallway, yellow poster boards. And fill this out online, go to the link right below, and it'll be on your student engagement transcript. Thank you.
All right. We shall invite Dean DeShield from Multicultural Office to start off with the opening remarks. Dean DeShield.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This actually is our 6th annual MLK celebration, and I want to be able to extend a heartfelt thank you to SLAP for partnering with the Office of Multicultural Affairs for the past 6 years. This has been a really great program that involves faculty and staff and students coming out and collaborating with Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy. We are participating in the largest celebration of Martin Luther King as being a partner with Global Citizen, who has donated the t-shirts that we all receive free of charge. That's because of our various programs that we have here at Raritan and our commitment to celebrating and advancing his legacy. The programs for this month that still are on our agenda, and I invite you to come out to them, include our community partner breakfast. It includes our volunteers that participate in service learning activities and programs that will be held tomorrow at 8:30. And we will be honoring our service learning partners who are drum majors for justice and their service to the Somerset and Huntington County communities. In addition to that, next week we have several programs that I invite you out to participate in. One program, of course, is this movie screening of Selma, which was an Academy Award-winning program and movie on the life of Dr. King and his march in Selma. That program will be at 1 o'clock and also a screening at 6 o'clock here in the conference center. So I welcome you to come to that. And in addition, our program that we have in the theater, which is Rhapsody in Black, is a one-man production of the life and journey of an African-American young man and his struggles in the inner city. Afterwards, he will also have a discussion. And if you are interested in attending that, and if you are a student, please stop by my office, because if you sign up in advance for that program with our office, we will be able to waive the ticket fee of $10 for that. So we encourage all students to participate in that, and especially we will love to have our students, our male students of color, come out to that program and participate in the discussion group afterwards, so you can see me. But I would like to leave you with our presidential proclamation from our President Barack Obama. So if you just bear with me just for a moment, I'm just going to try to read a little bit of that for you. You can go on to the website to see the whole proclamation, but it's presented by the President of the United States, and it says, "With profound faith in our nation's promise, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led a nonviolent movement that urged our country's leaders to expand the reach of freedom and to provide equal opportunity to all. Dr. King joined a lifelong list of heroes and vindicated the belief at the heart of our founding that humble citizens armed with little but with faith, can come together to change the world and remake an America that more closely aligns with our highest ideals. Dr. King recognized, as a country built on a foundation of self-governance, our success rests on encouraging ordinary citizens in the work of securing our birthright liberties. Together with countless unsung heroes equally committed to the idea that America is a constant work in progress, he heeded the call etched into our founding documents nearly 2 centuries before his time, marching and sacrificing for the idea of a fair, just, and inclusive society. By preaching his dream of a day when his children would be judged by the content of their character rather than by the color of their skin, he helped awaken a nation to the bitter truth that basic justice for all had not yet been realized. In his efforts, his peaceful yet forcefully demonstrated that it is not enough to only have equal protection under the law, but also that equal opportunity for all of our nation's children is necessary so that they can shape their own destiny. From Dr. King's courage, we draw strength and the resolve to continue climbing towards the promised land. Our nation has made undeniable progress since that time, but securing these gains requires constant vigilance, not complacency. We have more to do to bring Dr. King's dream within reach of our daughters and our sons. We must stand together for good jobs, fair wages, safe neighborhoods, and quality education. With one voice, we must secure the scales of justice and work equally for all, considering not only how justice is applied, but also how it is perceived and experienced. As Dr. King told us, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and this remains our great unfinished business. So I would like to turn the program back over to SLAP, and I thank all our readers for volunteering on behalf of celebrating this wonderful legacy of Dr. King, and I look forward to having all of you participate in all the various programs this spring semester that we have to offer on behalf of our diversity initiatives here at Raritan. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I would like to talk about the Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream cards that we've been giving out to students before the event. We got a lot of feedback, and we'd just like to read some of them and just share what the students are thinking and how the students' views align so well with Dr. Martin Luther King's visions. So this student wrote, "My dream is for everyone to find the true courage to stand up against the forces that tear us apart." That's all. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Ms. Anita Rosen to read an excerpt from the Black Lives Matter and Black Jobs Matter movement. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'd like to start by reading a small excerpt from a speech that Dr. King gave to the AFL-CIO October 7th, 1965. And I think that sometimes we forget the relationship between the issues of jobs and civil rights and poverty, along with the violence that Dr. King was fighting against in segregation, that black jobs matter just as black lives matter. And that's what I see really in the words of Sonali Kolhatar, who is talking about the importance of seeing what Dr. King contributed toward that issue. And she writes, if we care about justice, well, first of all, I better read what Dr. King said to the unions in 1965. What kind of security do we have when jobs can disappear for periods and families must abruptly sink to lower living standards? Why should older workers be put in competition with younger workers? Why should Negro workers and white workers compete for jobs? Where are the unemployed automation has created? Many, numbering millions, are walking the streets. A large proportion of Negroes who are half hidden in the ghettos. Some have found employment in service industries, in low-paid jobs largely unprotected by unions in these unorganized trades. Other millions have retired, some on pensions, some on social security, others on relief. The tragic and perilous feature common to all is that they have moved from a decent standard of living to an essentially impoverished condition. This process is dangerous for the nation as it reduces purchasing power. It is dangerous for labor as it undermines standards. And it is catastrophic for the Negro who does not have even a toehold in security. Okay, and as if hearkening to the words of Dr. King, Sonali Kolhatkar of the Black Lives Matter movement writes, if we care about justice for African Americans, we must address poverty alongside police violence. The tradition of fighting for economic equality alongside racial justice is a long and venerable one. In the last year of his life, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. planned what might be considered the original Occupy Wall Street movement, except in Washington, D.C., a planned tent city to demand an end to poverty under the banner of the Poor People's Campaign. Low-wage workers, who are disproportionately people of color today, are leading the vibrant fight for 15, the minimum wage of $15, as you know, national campaign, demanding a minimum wage of $15 an hour and right to unionize. Groups like Black Workers Committee are taking steps to increase access to quality jobs and inferior jobs in the Black community. Even though the violence of poverty cannot be captured on our smartphones like a fatal shooting can, it is just as insidious a problem and just as deeply connected to police brutality. If we don't take a more holistic view of injustice, the crisis will remain unsolved. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita Rosenblythe. Next up, we will invite Laurie Vosberg, who will be singing and playing the guitar. Laurie?
Stand up there. Unless you want to hold my words. Want to? Grown up in the 60s with two older sisters and friends that wound up in Vietnam brought to our attention a lot of different music. And part of it explained what was going on to people who really didn't know what was going on and why. And one of my favorite musicians is Bob Dylan. And his song that he wrote is called Blowing in the Wind. And the focus of this song was the lack of the peace in the world and civil rights, anti-war, pro-civil rights, and humanitarian. And all of that just comes down to the words in this song. And there's always an answer for everything. And blowing in the wind, all the answers come from, I believe. How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? And how many seas must a white dove sail before he sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? And how many years must some people exist before they're allowed to be free? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Beverly Garcia. I'm Vice President of Media in SLAP, and I'll just be reading another statement made by a fellow student of ours regarding their dream. So they say, "My dream is that we think as one world and act and work as one. We are all people of this planet and not separate from each other." So I'd also like to introduce Valerie Parazza, that is going to be reading an excerpt by Nelson Mandela. So give her a round of applause.
Hi, everyone. So for this MLK Read-In event and in honor of the theme of economic justice, I will be reading excerpts from Nelson Mandela's 2005 speech on the campaign to end poverty in developing countries. Massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourges of our times in which the world boasts breathtaking advances in science, technology, industry, and wealth accumulation, that they have to rank alongside slavery and apartheid as social evils. In this new century, millions of people in the world's poorest countries remain imprisoned, enslaved, and in chains. They are trapped in the prison of poverty. It is time to set them free. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. And overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of a fundamental human right and the right to dignity and a decent life. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. The steps that are needed from the developed nations are clear. The first is ensuring trade justice. I have said before that trade justice is a meaningful way for the developed countries to show commitment to bringing about an end to global poverty. The second is an end to the debt crisis for the poorest countries. The third is to deliver much more aid and make sure it is of the highest quality. We thank you for coming here today. Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. Of course, the task will not be easy, but not to do this would be a crime against humanity, against which I ask all humanity now to rise up. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. Next up, we will have Baptist Tutor Spencer, who will be singing for us today. Spencer?
Can I use the auxiliary cable for this? Is it possible if I can use the auxiliary cable? Yeah? I'm not going to touch it.
Just, this one should, one of these should be it. This one.
There's no passcode to it, so you can just... I'll tell you what, I'm just going to say hello and just...
Yeah, go ahead. And you could hold the mic too if you want.
Okay. Hi everybody, how are you today? Oh, that was really lame. Can I get at that? Can I get another? How's everyone today? Thank you. All right. Are we all pumped up to be here? I hope you are, because I know I am. Thank you. My name is Spencer Bautista. I am the president of the Filipino Peace Club here at RVCC. I'm also a theater major. The reason why I'm plugging that in today is because I will be singing a song from a musical, which is a very near and dear show to my heart. It's called Godspell. And so in this particular song called Beautiful City, Jesus, which is the character, not the entity, Jesus is talking about how he wants to make the world a better place, basically. And I think that translates very well into this event because although we are improving in terms of social justice, we still have a lot to be done. So this is Beautiful City from the musical Godspell. Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope, one pale thin ray, reaching for the day we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we'll start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally, a city of men. A city of men. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Great, there we go. Thank you, Spencer. Next up will be Russell Lawyer, who will be reading Let America Be Great Again.
Good afternoon. I'm an adjunct faculty person here in Communication Studies, and I'd like you to keep two things in mind as I do this reading. The first is this poem is by Langston Hughes, and I want you to keep in mind that Langston Hughes wrote this poem in 1935. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The second is see if you can recognize any of the voices that Langston Hughes talks about in this poem. And the poem is entitled, Let America Be America Again. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man, full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream, beaten yet today, oh pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet, I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream. In the old world, while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today? The millions shot down when we strike? The millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung? The millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, and yet must be. The land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath. America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we, the people, must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain. All the stretch of these great green states, and make America again.
All right, everyone. I'm going to keep mine rather short, all right? Because we have great performances coming up. But I would just like to talk about some events that have been happening in 2015 that have caught the news all around the country. You know, on the path to adulthood, us kids basically have two paths. I'm going to talk about college right now. A lot of the faculty remember that moment of excitement that they felt when they first went to college. A lot of us remember that too, because it wasn't that long ago. Some of us might not, but I mean, you know. Some of the students, you know, don't like college. It's expensive. It riddles them with debt. But in all, it's a pretty good path. We emerge from college with pride, with great friends, with new hobbies, a lot of knowledge about the world. And perhaps the most important thing is a better chance in the labor market than we did before we got there. But now I'm going to talk about the second path that a lot of young children are taking today, and that's prison. Some of the students are not primed on the path to college. And some of these students are students of color in low-income neighborhoods that don't have this luxury. And this luxury is now a necessity in the post-2000s job market, you know? Higher education is a necessity now. It's very difficult to be successful without it. There's more kids on this journey to prison than ever before. In the United States, in the past 40 years, our incarceration rate has grown by 700%. That's higher than any nation in the world, higher than China, which has much more population than us, higher than Russia. What's more, and it's higher than North Korea, higher than Iran. What's more is that these kids that we're sending to prison, too many of them are drawn from low-income African-American, Latino, and minority communities. And this prison is really standing in the way between them and the American dream. We're not just sending these kids to prison, we're also saddling them with court fees, with probation, parole restrictions, low-level warrants. We're asking them to live in halfway houses when they should be living in dorms. We're asking them to live in house arrest when they should be out exploring their campus. We're asking them to negotiate a police force that are entering low-income neighborhoods, not for the purpose of public safety, but for the purpose to make arrest counts. We see justice in a very narrow way. You know, you're innocent, you're guilty in court. And we see that as fair. What we don't see as fair is two kids in a inner city high school get in a fight. Some of them get charged with assault and go to jail. Granted, the judge might drop all the charges and be like, oh, they're just kids fighting, send them back in. But they're going to have court fees. They're going to have fees to pay that are beyond their family can afford. But then we see students from suburban neighborhoods that get into fights. All they get is in-school suspension. All they get is out-of-school suspension, but the matter ends right there. This type of inequality needs to be reformed in our justice system, and needs to be reformed how people look at, what's right and wrong. Now, you might say, well, oh, they're committing a crime. They're smoking weed, they're getting arrested, they're doing whatever. They should go to jail. Everybody thinks that. You're doing crime, you should go to jail. But it's not that simple. We're asking some of the kids who live in the most disadvantaged neighborhoods, who have the least amount of family resources, who are attending the country's worst schools, who are facing the toughest time in the job market, who are living in the neighborhoods where violence is an everyday problem, and we're asking them to walk the thinnest line possible. How many here know somebody in college that smokes weed? Raise your hand. I don't see that many hands raised, but I'm pretty sure there's more than this. Now, we all heard of police raiding low-income communities, doing stop, frisk, and searches, raiding their homes, and getting them arrested for non-violent drug offenses. But how bad would it be if a police officer went to any four-year university and frisked 100 students? How many of them would get arrested for something wrong? A good amount. How bad would it be if a police officer raided a frat party and arrested people for underage drinking or doing drugs? Probably a lot, but it doesn't happen. This type of discrimination, this type of institutionalized discrimination and racism is affecting us all today and needs to be changed. But there's good news. President Obama and former Attorney General Eric Holder have come out very strong on sentencing reform and the need to address this racial disparity in incarceration. We're seeing states throw out the stop and frisk laws, which is a civil rights violation. We're seeing cities and states decriminalize possession of marijuana. We're seeing New York City, New Jersey, California have been dropping their prison populations, closing prisons, and seeing a big drop in crime. Texas has gotten into the game, closing prisons, investing in education, and conservatives, former prisoners, fiscal, civil rights activists, libertarians, and young people are taking into the streets to protest this problem, protest, police violence against unarmed black teenagers, protesting, all sorts of these problems that are happening today. And it's not just young people, it's the wealthier, older people too. The more wise ones that have lived through the civil rights movement are pouring their money into these organizations that are trying to make a change. We have a deeply divided Congress, but the only thing that they agree on, some of the only things they agree on, is the need for sentencing and prison reform. So all I have is I just want to call out to the young people who are the leaders in the fight for equal rights, because it's still not over. We still have a long way to go. We made a lot of progress, but there's still a long way to go. And call out for young people to continue fighting so everyone is granted dignity and everybody has a fighting chance in this economic market. The mission of this generation and people coming of age right now, it's like in a moment of change. And honestly, I would love to see in my lifetime where somebody does any sort of crime, but their sentence is based on the crime itself and not plagued by their skin color, not plagued by where they're from, what city they're in. And that's about it. Just continue doing what we're doing and having events like this and raising awareness for a problem that's still very big in a lot of our lives. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. We will have Levine Hamilton, who will sing "Great Is Thy Faithfulness" for us.
Giving honor to God who's head of my life, I thank the Lord for this opportunity to come here today and testify that I am a graduate of Ranton Valley Community College. I thank God for the experience that I had here. I thank God for everything that I endured as I endured here. I received a scholarship, but I accept my life the way it is right now. I love Jesus Christ. I love the Lord. And God has been good to me. He's been faithful to me. He provided everything that I need. So today I'm here to encourage you all, stand for humanity, not color. Humanity. Everybody has a right to a good life under the Constitution of the United States. I want to know, do everybody here know great is thy faithfulness, the chorus part? Okay, those who know it, when it's time for the chorus, I want you to come in. Those that don't know it, pray for me as I endure on. And remember one other thing. Martin Luther King did a blueprint, the speech of blueprint. If you ever get lost and can't find your way, look it up. Thank you. You can do it. I can't get up there. I can't go up there. Mm-hmm. Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadows turning with thee. Thou changes not, thy compassion, they fail not. Thou hast been, and thy forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All thy have needed, thy hand has provided. Great is thy faithfulness forever unto me. Summer and winter, springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, join with all nature and manifold witness thy greatest faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, your hands has provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Pardon for sin and peace thou endurest, thy own present to cheer and to guide. Strength for today and a hope for tomorrow. Blessings all mine and 10,000 beside. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning,
Thank you, Levine Hamilton. Next up, we will have Darian Hampton, who will be reading a poem with the title Untitled. So it's going to be an interesting one. Come on, Darian.
You can either stay here or you can use the mic up there.
I'll stay up here. Stay right here. What's up, everybody? I think I'm the only one with background music to come up, so I'm pretty blessed, you know what I mean? But I'm feeling pretty bad right now, but I made a poem recently, and I'm kind of ashamed that I can't recite it by memory, but it is what it is. But yeah, I've named it Untitled because I don't know what to call it, to be honest, but it's all up to you and your interpretation. Oh, okay, that picture. All right. Even the sun goes down. Heroes eventually die. But that doesn't mean that we can't reach for the stars or have a strong spark for the next person to embark on the dreams of its ancestors. But lately, I've been seeing too many of my people die on both sides of the spectrum. It's either that you're black, white, or blue nowadays. That depends on your complexion. It's like week after week, though. The young and the fruitful be dropping like flies. And my sister, still afraid to this day, the day of my demise. With the media painting a nice picture to America, that this thug ain't nobody too special, twisting my image at every chance that they get to portray me as not being a human being. And I hope they don't give my mama the chance to represent me, but instead give my killer that opportunity. Sorry. Even though he shot me without a cause, point, or reason, all because he had the opportunity. He was afraid of me because my skin is a statement of intimidation, chaos, and violence. But little did he knew that I was afraid too. And I wish that I had the chance to tell him, I wish I had that opportunity. But please listen, please listen. I am no prophet, no reverend, neither am I a saint, and I hope not to be, because I'm just another man living, his life surviving in today's America. But I know that equality isn't possible if someone is tipping the scales. Freedom ain't free if others are oppressed. Martin Luther King got killed because of his dreams, but we cannot let it all end on that balcony. Please, please listen. Unity is the key to success. I press these words to the poor and to the wealth. Accept each other with love and respect. The most basic things can leave a person with a little breath. The most basic things can put this hatred at rest. May the one with me be the one that protects. God bless. Thank you.
So, hello again, and I'll be reading yet once again, one of my dream cards. So another student said that their dream is that we step out of our comfort zones and interact with people whose ways conflict with ours, in sort uniting and creating better solutions. Yet another card says, my dream is for a cure for cancer, and we all will contribute in working together, so no child will ever have to face the news that they have cancer. So up next will be Alicia Walker with the video presentation.
Good afternoon. So I'm going to take excerpts from the presidential proclamation from 2 different years, to talk about economic justice. And I'm also going to play in the background Glory by John Legend and Common. And they performed this at the Oscars, but I like this one in particular because of what they did with the reenactment of going over the bridge. So.
Here to perform Glory from the film Selma, please welcome John Legend and common.
Dr. King once said, "We must also realize that the problems of racial injustice and economic injustice cannot be solved without a radical distribution of political and economic power." We have made great advances since Dr. King's time, yet injustice remains in many corners of our country. In too many communities, the cycle of poverty persists and students attend schools without adequate resources, some that serve as a pipeline to prison for young people of color. Children still go to bed hungry, and the sick without sufficient treatment in neighborhoods across America. To put up blinders of these realities or to act like they don't exist are inherent to a nation as large and diverse as ours would be such a disservice to those who fought so hard to ensure ours was a country dedicated to the proposition that all people are created equal. Today, we pause to pay tribute to the extraordinary life and legacy of Dr. King, and we reflect on the lessons he taught us. Dr. King understood that equality requires more than the absence of oppression. It requires the presence of economic opportunity. He recognized that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. In a world full of poverty, he called for empathy in the face of brutality. He placed his faith in nonviolence. His teaching reminds us that we have a duty to fight against poverty, even if we are wealthy, to care about the child in the decrepit school long after our own children have found success, and to show compassion toward the immigrant family, knowing that we were once strangers too. Dr. King transformed the concepts of justice, liberty, and equality, and he led marches and protests and raised his voice. He changed the course of history. We may have all come on different ships, but we are all in the same boat now. Dr. King once said, "As the most diverse country on earth, ensuring this creed is reflected in our hearts, our minds, and policies is imperative of our citizenship. As Americans of all races and belief come together on this day of service to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King, let us pledge to recognize the common humanity of all people, regardless of color of their skin or the station in which they were born. Today, this day, we celebrate the long arc of progress for which Dr. King and so other many leaders fought to bend towards a brighter day. It is our mission to fulfill his vision of the nation devoted to rejecting bigotry in all forms, rising above the cynicism and the belief that we cannot change, and to cherishing dignity and opportunity, not only for our own daughters and sons, but also for our neighbors' children. So I ask you today, stand if you believe that all men should be created equal. Stand if you believe that all women should be created equal. Stand if you believe that all races should be treated equal. Stand if you believe that Black lives matter. Stand if you believe that Latino lives matter. Stand if you believe that Asian lives matter. Stand if you believe that white lives matter. Stand Stand if you believe that Jews' lives matter. Stand if you believe that Muslim lives matter. Stand if you believe that Christian lives matter. Stand if you believe that Syrian lives matter. Stand if you believe that gay and lesbian lives matter. Stand if you believe that prisoners' lives matter. And stand if you believe that handicapped lives matter. Stand if you believe that all lives matter. Because my brothers and sisters, right now, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything always. So rise up and be the change that you want to see in the world. Thank you.
All right, a big round of applause for Alicia Walker. All right, next up, we shall welcome Angela Bamford and her crew who will be singing Redemption Song by Bob Marley.
I don't want this close.
Yo, want to switch? Switch.
While you're setting up, the volunteers of the event will pass in the cake around. We don't want everyone rushing to the back, so you just have to say they'll bring it to you.
So today we will be doing Redemption Song by Bob Marley. My favorite line in the song is, "Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery." Like Alicia said, we should be the change we want to see, and change starts here.